Hi folks, I have been listening to a YouTube video which is from the starter story itself, where Yasser mentioned how he built $1 million ARR business in 117 days. And he mentioned about AI SDK, on how he uses AI SDK to build his next generation AI application. And I was amazed. There are a lot of people who are talking about n8n, use n8n for their own workflow. But gone are those days where you are using n8n. The reason is very simple. n8n is very powerful tool, but it only works if you're using it for your own custom preferences. That means either I'm using it for my own preferences or some business is using it for their own preferences. Now, for example, I am a creator who wants to give service of AI services to you. How do I do it? Should I give my n8n workflow to you? That means you have to go to n8n, buy a domain, or maybe buy a subscription, or maybe host your own n8n server. But that is too much technical complexities. Those who are not in this AI race, those who are just general human being who are not working in the AI field and they want to use AI, how do they do it? There is no perfect way they can do this through n8n. n8n is something which requires some a bit of technical experience, either hosting or something where they have to manage the server, where they have to give Google credentials, and a lot of things which comes with n8n. That's where now this is the right time to build AI applications, and not with n8n but with Vercel AI SDK. So this is Vercel AI SDK, which you can see in the screen. I have already read this documentation earlier on. I have tried some of their applications, which you can also see through demo. You can go to demos of AI SDK and read how they are building it. For example, there may be a RAG bot. If I go to RAG, you can go. You can see and you can also verify this demo. They have given a demo. It must be somewhere in the bottom. Okay, let me get you through. They should have given one demo repo. So you can see, clone this repo. So they had given a proper guide on how to build applications. So why RAG is a perfect example to understand why it can beat n8n. Whatever custom chatbot you see in different websites, they all use RAG somehow or the other. This is one example of RAG. There are many examples which you can, for example, image generation that you can do with Vercel SDK. They provide multiple chatbot models which you can use in your application. You can see the list of providers and models. These are all the providers which are available in Vercel AI SDK. Now I have told you that you can skip anything and use Vercel AI SDK, but when I scratch the internet, when I search the internet, there are not enough resources. And that's where I want to come in and I want to make videos on Vercel AI SDK on how you can build your end-to-end SaaS applications. So you can see they have given a lot of things. For example, what is AI SDK core, what is AI SDK UI, and what is AI SDK RCS. RCS is an example, like experimental item right now. This is not in the mainstream, but AI SDK UI and AI SDK core are the most important part which we need right now. AI SDK RSC is React Server Component. That means your React components are built on server. And that's why it is experimental because things are not as perfect as AI SDK UI and AI SDK core. And that's why Vercel has already pushed these two libraries for now. And you can see how you can use them. If you're using Node.js, Vue, Svelte, Solid, Next.js with page router or app router, you can use everything. You can see how this is working and you can see what are the AI SDK UI also provide. What is UseChat? These are the hooks which you use in the client. UseChat for tool calling. For example, I have weather application where I want to know the weather of India, for example, in Mumbai. How do I get it? If I go in ChatGPT and I ask, most probably it will do a web search. But for example, I have designed a tool just like which is in your app. you have weather application in your Android or iPhone device, right? So that application is there. Similarly, the tool will also have my AI chat SDK will also have a tool called weather, where I can always prompt what is the weather in Mumbai and when it will rain. If I go in the evening at 5 to 6 p.m., will it rain? What is the probability of raining? And I have all the components, I have all the tools. It will go and call the tool and it will fetch from the weather API itself. No more web search required for this particular tool. So this is a great example. In future, everything will be on your chat message UI, right? So everything will be one chat away, one message away. So you will search, for example, maybe give me a list of components which I need for building this IoT device. A rough use case which I use. So right now I go to different websites and I see and measure their rate and as well as what is getting delivered to my address. That I don't need to do. I will just send this message and it will do a tool call, not only web search, but a tool call to find the relevant sources. So it is more better than a web search, right? And that's why we have to build applications using tool calls. And that's why tool calling is one of the important thing we need to do. After that, we have use completion. I will cover everything when I will be building. I have not done anything right now in hand with hands on, but I have demoed a lot of items on how things are done. I've read a lot of code, how things are done. So I feel pretty confident that I can do it and I can explain it to you guys also. So you can see this is the Next.js app router instruction on how to create applications and how you can do what is the handlers and things like that. So you can see how UseChat is used and where are the server components. You can see the server components need AI SDK and AI. And for client, we need AI SDK use chat hook. And here we need the OpenAI, XAI, things like that, and stream text. So I will cover the basics on how you can build this application, next generation SaaS application using Vercel AI SDK. And this is the weather example, the tool call, which is making and this is written in server itself. So you can manage all the tools. And since the support of MCP has also arrived in AI SDK, you can convert a MCP tool into a normal tool call and it can work simple like a tool call. You can also give your own MCP server as a tool. So there are a lot of use cases which you can do. I will go through them. So you don't need to use cursor or cloud desktop if you're building application for non-developers or those who are not into the AI field. They will also get the context, and this is for those, and that's why we need to build SaaS applications for them. You can see there are a lot of things. For example, AI SDK code. So they have given a lot of documentation. So stay tuned as I cover all the items in the coming days. So see you in the next video, and let's make AI SaaS applications together. Bye.